25 years ago. I was 49 25 years ago, so do the math. That tells you I'm an old fucker. I'm 74 now. And this is Canal Street Tavern shirt right here. 25 years ago, I did not have that going on. Thanks, Bill. You did a hell of a job, brother. Thank you, man. Okay. This is called a partial list. It comes to you like the wind in the trees, like the trees in the wind, like the crawling king snake of the headline news. All that normal, everyday sort of pain. The kind created by wanting and needing, the mystery cliche of breathing, a heart you can count on and dance with, but not, of course, forever. Or maybe tonight the pain has nothing to do with time and what it's always up to. Maybe tonight it's your neighbor, Larry, and he's playing the accordion at 3 a.m, and naturally it's raining, and the song is Irish, a woeful ballad about a drunk who fails at love and life, and then, despite his best efforts, he doesn't even manage to die young. A fate so desperate, wretched, empty, idiot, sad, I feel like stopping right here, but no, I can't. In fact, I'm just getting warmed up. There's pain that won't budge, for instance, and pain that glows in the dark, and pain disguised as happiness and salvation, and pain that's better than loneliness, and pain that's worse than loneliness, and pain because you refuse to change, and pain because finally at last you decide to change, only now it's a lot too little and a day too late. There's the pain that comes from pretending to be someone else. There's the pain that comes from being exactly who you are. There's the pain that's waiting for you every time you turn off the TV or dare to put down your iPhone. There's pain that burns, and pain that breaks, and pain that scars and sticks and itches, and pain that bludgeons, and pain that wrinkles, and pain that cuts and cries and stings, and pain that screams, and pain that speaks in tongues, and pain that refuses to say a single tortured word. And obviously, there's a close to limitless supply of the sort of pain that doesn't teach anyone anything, that has no moral, cultural, historical, psychological significance. It's just fucking pain. But wait, there's more. There's amazingly graceful pain, and blogosphere pain, and cornball pain, and Dostoevsky at the crap table pain, and existential nausea is the least of it pain, and forced to listen to Journey's greatest hits pain. And gadzooks, my pomaded wig is on fire pain. And haven't we had this same argument 981 times before pain? And immense Icelandic pain. And just imagine if you were shoeless Joe Jackson pain, and kicked in the nuts in Knoxville, Tennessee pain, and lotus eater pain, and mousetrap pain, and Never Neverland pain, and old familiar pain, and plastic doesn't actually get recycled pain, and quirky perky cheerleader pain, and Rumpelstiltskin pain, and subatomic particle pain, and trouble when you're already in trouble pain, and umbilical pain, and vainglorious pain, and Wile E. Coyote pain, and Xavier Cugat at the xylophone pain, and you've got to be fucking kidding me pain, and Zorro without his mask on pain, and lastly, and inevitably, there's that nothing left to say except goodbye, nothing left to do but die sort of pain, which whenever that magic moment happens for this particular ball of hunger and ham actor, may it please be preceded by this specific memory of earthly epiphany. That July morning in bed with Margaret, the damp and tangled sheets, the heat rolling off her naked beauty, and how she smelled like freedom and delight and a summer thunderstorm and dirt underneath your fingernails, and perfectly and just like a human being, how she smelled just like sweat. And for 1.3 seconds, right there, right then, I swear to you, there was no pain anywhere in the known or even the unknown universe, no pain anywhere. But then, of course, the pain and the endings started up again. The pain and the endings, they never end. And now and again I say it, and now and again I mean everything the word means when I say it. Amen. Poetry Slam literally fucking changed my life. It really did. It gave me this access to meeting unbelievable amounts of crazy creative people, and just inspired me. And I got to go to cool places like Chicago and Seattle and stand up on stages like this and take the chance of having people go, "You suck, motherfucker." Which is like, it's just a little advice from an old geezer. When you get like older, do some shit that's still scary, because you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, I've done that. And make sure that you do some shit that still scares the crap out of you every once in a while. So anyway, just this last thing. This poem, the refrain that comes from in this poem, the river, the waterfall, the river again. I heard about this. There's a movie I saw. It's a documentary. It's called The Wild Parrots of Telegraph Hill. If you ever get a chance to see this film, you should see it. It's about not a homeless man, as George Carlin would say, a houseless man. And he would sit in this one place in San Francisco and watch these wild parrots do what they did. And he became like a world expert on these birds. And this woman made a film about him. And he had this meditation that he learned. And the meditation was to meditate on this phrase, the river, the waterfall, the river again. And the idea is the river is everything that happened before you. The waterfall is all this shit of your life. Whee! And then the river again after you're gone. And that inspired me to write this poem, which is called Brave, Afraid, Alive. The river, the waterfall, the river again. God and nature grabbed the big headlines, but human beauty all by itself was more than enough to change my life. I was 13 when it happened, 13 and shooting hoops in the driveway, 13 and practicing my last second game-winning shots, 13 and dreaming of glory. An ordinary American kid killing time and wishing I was someone less ordinary on an ordinary Tuesday morning in July. And that's when I saw her, the neighbor girl. Let's just call her Madeline. And she was doing these amazing backflips in her front yard, doing them one after the other, after the other, after the other, as if gravity was a personal choice instead of a natural law, as if her next trick just might be flying. In time, she felt me watching her. She stopped, looked across the street, considered her options, and whatever she meant by it, she smiled. I think I probably tried to smile back. I know I learned that day what it means to sigh. I felt brave, afraid, alive. Like a road map, my heart got wise. You have to unfold it to figure out where you're going, but once you do, you never get the goddamn thing back into its original shape. Although after a while, that crumpled up mess does start to seem normal. The river, the waterfall, the river again. Wisdom is hard to come by. Wisdom is hard to take. Wisdom is another name for the scars on our hearts. Wisdom is 3 goldfish belly up in the bowl. The backyard is where we bury our dreams of permanence. My daughter makes a popsicle stick cross to mark the spot, to honor what disappeared despite her love and vigilance. She doesn't bother asking me why suffering like this has to happen. She's 7. She already knows I can't answer the questions that really matter. She's 7. She already knows that I think the best prayer is silence. She knows, but says a few words of benediction anyway. We both say, amen. The river, the waterfall, the river again. In this part of the poem, I'm 49 years old. In this part of the poem, there's an angry woman. Let's just call her Madeline. And right now, I'm watching her get smaller and smaller as she heads down the sidewalk, climbs into her blue Dodge Neon, and pulls away from the curb. She hesitates at the stop sign for maybe 17 and a half nanoseconds. My heart flutters. We all know why. But then she hits the gas hard, burning rubber, and make a sudden and absolute right turn onto North Main Street, vanishing into the rush hour traffic like a jack-in-the-box after you click the lid shut. Hope is another name for hunger. The hardest thing to see is what's right in front of your eyes. What matters most is what you turn love into after love turns on you. The river, the waterfall, the river again. The parent who dies when you're young seems like a tragic hero. The one who goes second after you're grown and finally afraid of your own death. That loss feels more like your platoon sergeant just bought it. You see it, you get it, like an eviction notice. The wheel is random, the order chaotic. The bullet that took them out could just as easily have had your name on it, but it didn't, not this time. Although any day now, it's only natural, it's only fair, any day now, it will. And I was there in the room last month when my mother died, and I'm here to tell you that she died like a champion. She did it like, okay. Enough is enough. This is the only part of my life I haven't done yet, so let's get the fuck on with it. So that's what she proceeded to do. Without fear, without shame, she said her goodbyes, looked the God of everything and nothing right in the eye, let go of it all, and got lost for good. For good and forever. My mother is gone. Another name for grief is gratitude. The only name for death is death. The river, the waterfall, the river again. Thank you.